A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this collective reading. This reading is more for the people who relate with the fact that they are star seeds, because the theme of the reading is such. So when I asked about the theme, I was given this card which is Temperance, and every time I look at the Temperance card, especially when it comes to the context of who and about the characteristic traits, about the personality traits. I don't know why I'm doing this so much, but Temperance is special because Temperance always makes me feel like I'm talking about the star seeds. Now, I have done live sessions about star seeds, and I don't know, but don't want to sound like I'm boasting about this, but I think I'm one of those people, or this channel is one of those channels where we came up with this information thanks to my masters and source in order to give the truth bombs to people who are willing to listen in, willing to be to understand that they have been confusing the concept of twin flames with certain romantic illusions. But star seed twin flames are here to bust it out as well, because there is nothing wrong in falling in love with someone, okay? But confusing lust to be love is a very, very, very big danger. And that actually ruins everything in the ascension journey. So there was a time I used to get triggered by people who would write these things to me in the comment section, saying that what's wrong with sex, what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that, what's wrong with making out with people. So I've never said there's anything wrong or anything right. What I've said is that you must have. Otherwise, how would you have figured out that it's not the right thing to do? It's not correct to share your precious sexual energy with every Tom, Dick and Harry. But it is not you who willingly wants to do it. It is the programming of lust. It is the programming of lust that makes you do it, and the need for love, the desperation for love, the obsession for love, it's actually very, very well planned, So what I'm being told today is that I'm going to talk to some of the starseed twin flames. This session is for them who are able to figure out the illusion of this planet, and also they are able to figure out that there is a certain illusion also which makes you feel that you're living with certain type of people in the same planet. Actually, you're not living with the same people on the same planet, and you might think some of you might think that I see those people, but you have to understand that people who are not vibrationally compatible with you, and this is not a justification session, this is not something that I'm here to tell you believe it. If you don't want to believe it, it's absolutely up to you, because I left that long time back doing that. I don't make content for views or subscribers or even for money. You are not on the same earth with them, okay? Because you are not vibrationally compatible to them, or they are not vibrationally compatible to you. And this will apply only to those people who have done substantial amount of inner work, which has led them to take certain risks in their life, because of which they kind of moved away from those people. Maybe the transition was a difficult transition. Maybe it was not easy to move away from people who were, once upon a time so close to you, and you loved them so much and you wanted their approval and validation. But you have been changing yourself, and that particular change is creating the reality that you're in. So if you compare yourself with the person who you were in 2016 or 18 or maybe even 2020 till 2020, because in 2020 a lot of people actually made some physical shifts also, like it was very visible. Only if you don't get clouded by the romantic illusions, you would be able to see much better that you have actually shifted because there are many versions of earth, like a lot of people are living in the 5-dimensional reality, some are living in the 4th dimensional reality. As per them only, they only tell me that I am in the 5-dimension reality and this and that. And some years back, I think in 2020 only, I did a reading session with a girl, and she's a very wise, intelligent girl, but she, I think, still is pretty much trapped in the false explanation of twin flame world. When they speak about the twin flames, they say that twin flame is the other half of your soul. So basically, according to this definition, the soul has split into 2 halves, and it has become 2 people, like one is a male and one is a female. I think that's not what they wanted to say when they said meeting the other half of your soul. Maybe again, like a lot of things we have to explain in the language world or in the behavioral reality, we have to say a lot of things, like this, like I, me, myself, even though we don't mean like I am the doer, I'm doing it, even though we mean that no, I'm not doing it, it's my masters and source who are doing it, or it's happenstance, or it's naturally happening, like it happens with the mango tree or the lemon tree or the fruit trees. But that creates confusion, okay? So she told me once during the reading session, I just happened to ask this person, and I'm speaking about this because I want to speak about it today so that a lot of people can get clarity. Whether you subscribe to the channel or not, whether you like the video or not, that will really not have that much impact, okay? Subscription is so that you get notified about the stuff that comes up to you. But if you're intuitively tuned in, you will automatically land up to the content. Even that is true, okay? So, my dear friends, when she told me that I am in union with this person in the 5D reality, but in the 3D reality, I'm not in union, which means in the physical reality, I'm not in union with the person. But it's okay, I'm happy and I'm living my life and I'm doing my stuff. I did try to explain to her that if you are in 5D, there is no 3D, okay? 3D is only used just for explanation and just to talk, because there is a certain version of earth where people have no concept of inner work and spiritual ascension. If you see yourself in that version of earth, you're actually looking at yourself in a lower version of your own self. So you need to first of all detach yourself from that earth, because that earth is about desires. That earth is about wanting something constantly and not being in the here and now. But when you shift into a higher version of earth, or a different version of earth, an earth which is coexisting with the 3D earth, like it's a parallel earth, okay? So in 2020, another thing that happened because of the pandemic, or actually the pandemic was a result of it, because the earth was splitting up, and there were very strong shifts in earth's energy. So it created a very different kind of earth where only the inner work oriented people, or people who have less fear or less attachment with the 3D world, people who are more connected with nature, people who are more connected with love, unconditional love, the frequency of true love, people who are very authentic, people who don't have desires as such. So if you have desires, you will be connected to the lower version of earth, which is called 3D earth. Okay, it's just a name given to earth so that it's easier to talk in communication. The 5D or the 4th D or the 6D or the 7D, all the higher versions of earth are places where people don't have desire. So they're not going to talk like, oh, I want to be in physical with my twin flame, I want to be in union with my twin flame, because they will already be in union. And twin flame is an energy. I was in a therapy session the other day, and I've given this information to the same person multiple times, that twin flame is an energy. Twin flame is an energy. It's not a specific person. But a lot of times even we have to say, okay, so the person you think is your twin flame, okay, so the person who's supposedly your twin flame, or the person who you believe is your twin flame, we have to talk like that. And they say, yeah, that person. So my dear friends, because you have changed yourself, this is specifically for people who have been changing themselves, you are changing your reality, and in your reality you see those people in a physical distance or a separation. that is because they are vibrationally not compatible to you. So instead of feeling bad about it, you have to see it like they belong to a different earth. And I cannot go to that earth because I am not on the same vibration, or they cannot come to me because they are not on the same vibration with me. Like if you want to go to that version where you were physically maybe connected to that person, whosoever it is that is coming to your mind right now, that's because at that point in time too, you were jumping from, you were doing a runner chaser dynamic, or you were doing a hot and cold, whatever way you want to call it. You were basically actually shifting constantly. One day you were in 3D earth, one day you were in 4D 5D, one day again you were in 3D. So you were also making a transition which was like a permanent transition. In order to make the transition happen, there are people who are sent to you, or people who you attract naturally, who are also in the same vibration. It could be possible that you were on, like, it's like this road is there, okay? So you are coming from this direction and someone is coming from this direction. Or rather, we would say that this person probably was in 5D earth earlier. Maybe they were very young to you. So, sometimes when people are young, they are very carefree, they are very relaxed, and they don't have much worries, and they're enjoying a very beautiful kind of life which they're not aware about, but their programming is kicking in. Their programming is kicking in, and kicking in very hard, okay, very strongly. So they were in 5D and you're headed towards 5D, okay, and they are now going to 3D. Like for them, they are going to the lower reality because of their age and because of how programming works on planet Earth, okay, or whatever their karma is, whatever way they are born. And that's why a lot of people experience the age gap paradigm also, the age gap dynamic, and they feel bad about it. Actually, it's a very good thing. So you meet someone who's probably, say, 10 years younger to you, okay, and this person is in 5D when you meet that person, or they skip from 5D, 3D, like they're jumping on days. So on certain day, when you're jumping from 3D to 5D, you both meet. Like sometimes, when you're literally on the timeline, you're on the same space somewhere, you meet. You talk, you have a great connection, you love each other, you feel all those feelings, and you have a great bond, and you talk about a lot of cool things. And you would realize that whenever you're talking about freedom and free things, like free, I don't mean like monetarily free, but free love or unconditional love or doing cool things. Like whenever you're doing all those conversations, they are in sync with you. But maybe lust is also kicking in. Their parents have taught them a lot of things. Their karma is kicking in. A lot of things are kicking in. So next day they're not the same with you. And a week later they're not the same with you. 15 days later you block each other, or they block you because you say something which is absolutely authentic and real, and they don't like it. Like maybe you look at them, look at their face and say, or you're just talking to them, having a conversation, and you say, you know what, I think you have this problem. And you're being very pure at that point in time. You're not saying it in a mean way, okay? For example, you just happen to tell them that you don't have actual confidence, okay? And I'm telling this to you because this is a starseed trait, because starseed, they cannot speak false stuff. They are extremely truthful, okay? They speak the truth, and they need to also figure it out. Like they need to be in love with themselves, and they've been in a very negative programming, you can say negative towards their positive, I won't say positive, authenticity, okay? So it's like telling them, don't be authentic, don't be authentic, don't be authentic, don't be real, don't be real. So they have to fight through it. They have to fight against that system, okay? So they meet people who are going to make them realize it more and more that no, you gotta be authentic. Because you can't be fake, you can't be false. Like, it's something you can't do. So say you meet this person one fine day and you just look at them energetically and you say, you know what, your confidence is not real. Because real confidence comes from solar plexus. Maybe they've never done any solar plexus work and you can sense it. All star seeds usually, they are very much very strong with solar plexus energy when they are children. That's why as a child they can do a lot of things. And the reason why I ask people to chant the sound of Ram, no matter which country you're from, because Lord Sri Ram was also a star seed, He is also a reincarnation. He comes from a very high dimension, which is Vaikunt. Both Vishnu and Lakshmi are reborn on earth as Ram and Sita. But the name specifically Ram, there's a reason behind it, okay? And also Ram is the sound of solar plexus. So when Treta starts coming in, all the star seeds and the high vibrational people, they start fragmenting away into another earth, or earth also starts developing a very dense format of it, which is not the usual earth, okay? Not a suitable place for people who live in the Vaikunt, or people who live in a place which is free of frustrations and worries, okay? So you happen to tell this to this person that your confidence is not real, or you're not spiritually mature. It's just one statement, like you're spiritually immature. And because their ego is popping up, the head of the ego is popping up, so all of the things that they did, maybe this person, when you met this person, he or she was, say, 21 years old or 22 years old or maybe 19 years old, or you were maybe in your late 20s, or you were, it's obviously has to be an adult. When the ego's head kicks in, it becomes really strong. So you could have had an age difference with that person. Maybe you were in your 40s and this person is in their 30s, okay? It has to be obviously an adult, because again, star seeds don't get sexually attracted to people. They get attracted to people because of the soul energy. So that's why this whole age difference thing happen. And twin flame star seeds face it the most, okay? Because twin flame star seeds are usually people who have the twin flame energy, like they're doing the twin flame work, but they're not from earth. They are not the earth souls. They are from another galaxy. And again, because I have said all these things in my live sessions also, you guys can go and check them out and you can find a lot of information. But this channeling is specifically directed to those people who resonate with it. So you might have said certain things to those people and they would have really taken it very hard, and they might have just wanted to shut you away because you were speaking too many things which were too truthful and too honest. And they might have even said it to you, like, who speaks like this? Who speaks the truth? Literally, they would have said it, because in their programming, speaking lies, being a false person, not being honest, not being authentic, it is going to be their life for the next 80 years that they're going to live on earth, or 70 years or 60 years or whatever. Only if they're lucky, only if they actually are meant to go through Kundalini awakening. And this too, you're supposed to find out in due course of time, because if you will know everything too early, you might get too attached with it, Sometimes in the readings, people ask me these questions: will I meet this person again? Will I get reunited? And the answers can be no, and answers can also be yes. And then they ask me how soon. So it all depends on what is your how soon. It all depends on that. So if your own how soon is 3 years or 4 years, maybe that would be the answer. But you also don't have to look at the answer that your brain is telling you. Your soul is going to give you a different answer. Your brain is going to give you a different answer. Your brain might say 6 months, 6 months, say 6 months, 6 months. But your soul might say 6 years. Okay, because the soul knows the best. And you might be like, oh my God, 6 years is a very long time to be away from someone, to be in separation, right? That's because your 3D self is activated. When your 3D self is activated, it's going to give you all of the information that connects you with the 3D part of you, the part that is stuck with desires and that is stuck in low frequency. So as I was explaining, so you are basically coming from this side going to 5D, and these people are coming from 5D and going to 3D, and in between you meet and you stay in 4D maybe, or depending on what is your mood or what is your day. Now you're this very happy person, you believe in love, you believe in this, you believe in that, unconditional love, support. So you are maybe ignoring a lot of their things that they're actually doing, which are supposed to be big time red flag issues. Okay, but since you don't know, and you also need a push, you also need a strong push. So when they treat you horribly, when they treat you in a very inhuman way, which according to you feels very inhuman, because that will happen, feels very insensitive, feels very false, feels very fake, feels like, you know what, they said this to me, they said that they love me, or they said that they want to spend their whole life with me. So why aren't they picking up my calls right now? So it could be something very simple actually. You could have called them like 10 times and they've not picked up your phone. And you start crying and you start feeling bad, and then you call them up again and maybe they pick up and they tell you on your face that, hey, leave me alone, don't bother me, why are you calling me like a maniac? But you say that you love me. So what, I love you, we had a fight last night and you said something to me. What did I say to you? You said that I'm immature. Oh my God, but I just said the truth, you are immature. See, you're saying it again. I don't want to see your face ever again. That is what 3D people do, okay? In 5D, you're going to ask yourself, why did I say that this person is immature and still I want to be around them? And the other person would also say that maybe if this person is saying something to me and it's triggering me so much, I need to go within and do my inner work. I need to find out the reason why it's triggering me. Either it's going to give me a push to a higher dimension, or it's going to trigger me so that I do my inner work. Or the third thing, going down below to lower vibrational earth, that's not happening. And in some cases, in between it happens. Like recently, the Jupiter-Rahu conjunction. A lot of starseed also use the word Schumann for this, like Schumann or Schumann. Usually I would say Schumann. Actually, the spelling is Schummann. So there is the word human and there is SC. So you can pronounce it whatever way you want, Schumann or Schumann or Schumann. But this is something that they use to describe these very low vibrational energies where people are actually so negative and so desperate, or stuck in such false reality, in Maya, in illusion for some time, so that they can actually get awakened or feel awakened, and they can realize that it's so torturous, it's so painful to be in this space or be in this reality, that they want to immediately go back to the higher dimension or the 5D reality. But they are only basically trying to again use the terminology to explain a phenomenon where they actually feel like they're in hell. And hell and heaven are actually dimensions which you create via your own mental energy and emotional energy. So a lot of people actually think, sometimes they assume that they have been changing or they want to change the earth or the reality or the physical reality that they're living in. The changes happen, but they're very subtle. For example, you could be living in a house with a lot of people, with your family members or with a partner, and when you transition, you're no longer living in that house, you have moved out to some other place. Now for you, it could be movement of physical address, or you've changed the houses, but actually you're simply changing reality, you're changing your physical reality, because in that particular space or that house, maybe they're all of their energies were also combined, and it was creating a kind of space which was not conducive for your growth or for your energetic movement. So it may have looked like that they discarded you, or they left you, or they went away, but you could actually have moved away from that vibration and created a better space for yourself. And ever since you moved from that space, you've actually changed everything. Like, people don't see you the same way, you don't see them the same way. You have different activities. Every day you're not the same person. You're waking up in a different way. You're eating food in a different way. Your diet has changed. Your clothing has changed. Your hairstyle has changed. Your makeup has changed. Or other things have changed. But these are subtle changes that happen all the time. But you need to be more open to it. And once you are more open to these things, you are not going to be in the energy of desire, in the energy of I want. I want. You will be in the energy of thank you, I have this, or let's see what I can do the best right now. Let's see what's the solution in this situation. Your focus will shift completely. So my master said this, and on Sunday I was present in his discourse, and he said this very beautiful stuff. He said that Gratitude is the most important thing, and being ungrateful is the biggest sin. Because as soon as you're ungrateful, he used this word ungrateful because he also speaks in English. Many a times he uses English words also. So he said being ungrateful is the biggest sin, because it shifts, it changes, it distorts your vibration. As soon as you're ungrateful, you're gonna be like, I want, because what you have, you're not gonna see it. And people who are high vibrational, they have a very different attitude. They just sometimes continue to do what they love. Money is not really the parameter, or anything else is not really the parameter. Physical stuff is not the parameter to know, because I know a lot of people in 3D have a lot of money, but they are very unhappy. Okay, and you guys, starseed twin flames, or just twin flames also, you've met certain catalysts in your life who were actually showing you huge wealth, huge fortune, or maybe a lot of physical beauty, or a lot of physical confidence. That is not the real confidence. Just so you would get triggered, you would be in pain, and you would transition. And once you transition, there will be days where you would long for those people, or you would be like, oh, my inner work is not happening because in 3D I'm still not in union with this person, because a soul cannot split into two halves. It is just impossible. A soul cannot split into two halves. Let me say this again today for all the people who are interested to hear this. It is a misconception, and I have been saying this for a long time. What they actually try to say is that somebody is going to meet you and complete the other half of your incomplete soul or incomplete self, which has actually become incomplete or has gotten distorted because of the heavy 3D programming. And let me tell you, even 3D is not as bad. There are dimensions below 3D where a lot of you have lived when you were kids, where there was a lot of shame, there was a lot of guilt, and there were too many fears, which is why you could not actually get aligned with your bottom 3 chakras, because of the shame, guilt, and fear-based feelings. So a lot of you have actually shifted into another version of coexisting, parallelly existing earth, which is much better energetically. And some of you might be seeing some things, like you could be on and off meeting people from your old life, from your 3D life, or you could be seeing some things, which remind you of how pathetic certain things are. But at the same time, you're also changing your activities. You're probably going to better places, and that's why I have to mention activities. For example, like few years back, how do I say this? Say you are a person who loves to do roller skating, and you've always watched these roller skating videos, and you've always wondered, where do these people actually go for roller skating, because there's so much traffic everywhere. Or you've always wanted to be someone who can do skating on roads, but you never believed that could happen. Okay, but since you started doing inner work, maybe you found out, you just felt like doing a Google search, you found out some places near you, and you went to, and you made a call, and you went to that person and you said, hey, can I learn roller skating from you? And they go like, yeah, sure. And then you see like 20 other people who are learning how to do skating, and then they take you to different places where you can do roller skating, and then you're like, oh my god, all this existed. And you ask them, since when are you doing it? And this person says, I've been doing it for 20 years. So you've been doing this for 20 years? These type of activities can shift your reality. But how did you reach to that activity? That's because something shifted inside of you. Energetically you shifted, and the change within actually led you to connect with those activities or those people who may be very detached, but something actually triggered you to contact them. And what triggered you to contact them, or what triggered you to find out about these places, could be a bad experience, could be a sad experience, could be some kind of physical abuse or mental abuse or emotional abuse, because many a times we don't want to leave our low vibrational reality. We are just not willing to leave it because we're so attached to it. We are so stuck with it. We are so stuck with the desires. We are so stuck with the ego that we ourselves don't want to leave it. And ego doesn't always mean it's an arrogant person. Ego also means the attitude of being in pain. Ego also means connecting with a personality which creates shame, your own personality. Regarding the changes also, the change has to be in the beginning a slow process, because if you'll suddenly change, then you will be dead. As simple as that. So you have to change step by step. So another interesting thing happened today. Just before this channeling session, I read a comment written by somebody. Let me just read it out also. So this person maybe came on my channel say 2 years back, and 2 years back they probably watched some videos, and today 4 hours ago from this ID I got a reply or a message or comment that you have come a long way. It's nice to see how well you have grown in the last 2 years, and it's nice to see you grow so gracefully. So basically I had shared a video called Final Stages of the Twinflame Ascension Journey, okay, and this video was shared on this channel 2 years back, on this channel that you're watching right now. So I asked this person, where were you for last 2 years? And I got a long reply. It's an interesting reply. You guys can go to the comment section and read everything. But the first line is, I was paving ways to protect my soul, finally came to conclusion that it's my life, it's now or never. But I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live while I'm alive. Actually, it's a song. It's my life, it's now or never, but I ain't gonna live forever. I just wanna live while I'm alive. Actually, this song is so catchy. Every time I read the lyrics, I feel like singing it. So anyway, so this person, the ID is Mysterious Me, has written, everyone has their own journey and need to have their own experiences. Now I don't know why I'm so numb to the point that I can't even sympathize my own mom's pain. I feel, well, it's an experience that comes with the role. I can't take your pain, or can I always be taking on her projections? I understand I'm her firstborn and she needs someone to call her own. I respect that, but then it's a part of her journey for her to realize the child leaves the nest. I don't know phases or stages. All I know, if anyone doesn't want to connect genuinely, there is no space for them, and I'm going to help anyone unless they ask, like they mean it and they need it. I want to live a burden-free, drama-free life so that it's simple and beautiful. Hence, stumbling your old videos, finding peace in your voice and seeing you smile made me genuinely want to tell you that it explicitly shows your growth from within. And I just want to say this, that I made 2 channelings, one in Hindi and one in English, where I've actually spoken about those people who are detaching from their narcissistic mother energy. So very interesting that this person wrote this comment. I mean, that video is still in editing. It will be there in a day or two, hopefully, and you're gonna see it soon. But I had to actually reply to this message or to this comment, and that's why I said you guys can check it out too, just for proof's sake, because this video is 6 years old. I made this video in 2016, and I wrote to this person, Mysterious Me. Actually, this video is 6 years old. 6 years, okay, I have not written the word old. Let me just write it right now. Actually, this video is 6 years old, and it was first shared on another channel. In another channel, I've written, oh God, just realized. So what you're comparing is from 2016, lol. Thought I should let you know. And then I shared the link of the video or the other channel where it was shared 6 years back. So I wrote, check the date when it was shared first. Now this person has replied to me, my goodness, then I should be even more grateful that I found you at least now. You are amazing. So guys, I'm not reading this comment because it's praising me, because honestly I get criticized so many times, or I've actually gone out above the criticism or a praise thing, but I can feel the love of this person, and that's why I'm connected to this. comment, this person is equally amazing and this person is equally or probably more wonderful. You know, they may not realize it that well because they are able to connect with that energy and see that amazingness in another person. Imagine you are looking at a video and you're thinking that it is 2 years old or 3 years old, because as per the 3D reality, this is what it's been shown to you, this is what it's been presented to you, okay? But it could be a little different. It could be just that energetically you were not a match of it at a certain given point in time, but you could have been a match to something else that a certain person or a certain event was projecting, you know, and that's why you somehow got connected. I hope that makes sense. Actually never physically change anything. It happens on its own, and that's the wonderful part. You do introspection, you do analysis, you do retrospection, you do a lot of stuff, and you also give in things to you like good food, good energy, chants, mantras, sound energy, space. These are all 6 elements that you give to yourself: sound and sunlight and water and earth and things like that. So I personally also remember that every time I've made huge shifts, it has been around a water body. Like I spent some time near the beach or time near the lake, or now I didn't even know there's a swimming pool right across this road. Like my house is literally on the end of the road and you just have to cross the road and there's a swimming pool. And I did not know it existed for such a long time. But when I was looking for a swimming pool, it was right next to me. And that gives me kind of comfort that I can go to the swimming pool anytime I want, you know. I mean, you just have to take the membership first and you can go. And they do have timings also, like you can't just go anytime you want. But if you have the membership, you can just go and sit also there, you know, they won't stop you. So for swimming, you have specific timings, like you can swim between these hours and whatever. I'm just telling you these things because these things may be sounding very random, but they exist. Like I just said, that you just have to find out, and you, when you're vibrationally a match to something, it will be literally somewhere around you and you would be shocked. You would be shocked, like, oh my God, this place actually was there, or this vibration or this energy was right there, you know, and I didn't see it, I didn't know it. And transitioning is also interesting. If you want to know some cool stuff, then guys, also subscribe to my vlog channel, the Sunamoon vlogs. And also, if you speak Hindi, you can connect with me on the Hindi channel. If someone would watch the video which is 6 years old and they would say, oh my God, you feel so, you look so happy, you look so wise, you look so nice, you look so this, you look so that, I would have to say, maybe I was suffering a lot at that time, you know, or maybe certain things were happening to me parallelly at the same time, which were leading to a shift. So actually, technically, we are never happy, or we are never sad, we are never suffering, we are never miserable. We just think that way. We just believe in those things because of our programming. And it also reminds me that when certain things become clear to you, you actually look back in time to all those bad situations or so-called bad situations, and you feel like, well, that was really interesting. That was not bad. It was a good thing. Yeah, I mean, certain parts of your abuse, maybe you would look at it in a different way. You might even think that it never happened. Maybe you were also viewing something in a certain reality or in a certain realm. It's like viewing a movie which made you feel those energies. It's a very deep thing that I'm saying, guys. I don't know how many of you will catch it right now, but those who do, great. Because for this type of feeling, you have to really heal yourself. You have to really go into your wounds very deeply. You have to watch it from all perspectives and all angles, and you have to be gaining the strength to forgive a lot of people who are involved, maybe in partaking in that abuse. Or some of those people who you see were a part of that system where the abuse was happening. You look at them and they still belong to the old dynamic. They're still in the old earth, or they're still suffering, they're still miserable. Like they still walk up to you and talk to you about the same things, the same problems. You know, like, I don't have money, or I don't have this, or I don't have that. I'm not doing good, my life is not nice, my life is this, my life is that. And this is also not to say that you cannot have difficult days. There can be days when you yourself, despite being so intelligent and wise and knowledgeable, could end up saying things like, you know what, I'm not happy, or I'm not content, I need to do more. The whole doership energy can consume you. But then that is what earth is all about. You always learn as you move on. Like, you keep going on, you keep moving on, and you keep learning, you keep learning, you keep learning, you keep learning. But a lot of you people are here especially so that earth can transition, and especially so that you can transition, and especially so that you can heal the ecosystem and the template that you were originally sent to. Okay, so this is where I'm going to close this wonderful channeling session. I'm going to see you soon, very soon, in another one. One love, peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.